Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at NECRONS Grotmas Calendar Day 6. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Grotmas Calendar Day 6, Streaming of a Silver Grotmas. The NECRONS have thrown open the vault for Grotmas, and the Starshatter arsenal is lumbering out. An enormous array of arcane mechanical treasures are stored in the grand armories of the Necron dynasties. Some nobles prefer to wage mobile warfare using imperious anti-grav warborks, looming mechanical walkers, and supersonic assault craft powered by Eldritch technologies to outflank, outrun, and eliminate their enemies. As the armored tide sweeps over the hopelessly outmatched foe, Ghost Arks swoop low to disgorge rank upon rank of skeletal Necron warriors. Other forms of servile construct and maniacal killing machines join the lethal procession, adding their own cosmic wrath. And when the foe inevitably breaks, dynasty soldiery fused with repulsor-driven platforms side down any who would attempt to flee. The Necrons of the Starshatter arsenal unleash a relentless onslaught. The detachment rule for this force upon their enemies holding objectives: Necron models shooting at enemy units on objectives add 1 to their hit rolls, while ranged weapons equipped by Necron vehicles on mounted models gain assault. Necron characters use some of the most advanced technology in the universe, such as chrono impedance fields, which read vehicles in time dilation field. Continuing with the time-bending theme, commanders can also use the chrono shift stratagem to allow their vehicles to advance 6 inches automatically. Alright, so let's take a look at the new detachment rules. So once again, the Necrons already have their full codex, so there's going to be quite a bit of competition for this new detachment. And keep in mind also that the Necrons are going to have their reanimation protocols, all their army rules, but the new detachment rule is Relentless Onslaught. Each time a Necrons model from your army makes an attack that targets a unit within range of 1 or more objective markers, add 1 to the hit roll. In addition, range weapons equipped by Necron vehicle and Necron mounted models, excluding Titanic models, from your army have the assault ability. So anytime you're targeting a unit that is on an objective, you're going to be +1 to hit, that is shooting and combat. And then also all of your Necron vehicles and mounted units are going to have the assault keyword, which means they're able to advance a d6 inches and then still shoot. So you're going to be good at scoring primary, taking units off objectives, and then also you're going to be fast. So we've got 4 new enhancements to go along with it. First we have Dread Majesty, which is an aura, 30 points. Overlord or Catacomb Command Barge model only. While a friendly Necron unit, excluding Titanic units, is within 6 inches of the bearer, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. So pretty good. You'll be able to buff either an Overlord or a Catacomb Command Barge. For 30 points, they're going to have a 6-inch aura, and it's going to grant reroll hit rolls of 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. And that's going to stack with your +1 to hit if you're shooting at a target that's on an objective, so this is going to make your output extremely powerful. Anytime you have an aura ability, we have found that they are very strong. Then we have Miniaturized Nebula Scope, 15 points, Necron model only. Range weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit have the Ignores Cover ability. And next we have Demanding Leader, 10 points. Necron model only. In your movement phase, select 1 friendly Necron's vehicle or Necron mounted unit, excluding Titanic units, within 6 inches of the bearer. Until the start of the next command phase, that unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back. So that's pretty good. It does exclude Titanic units, but vehicles or mounted units, you're going to pick 1 that's within 6 of the bearer, and then you'll be able to fall back and still shoot. So really good to pull something out of combat that you don't want to be there, but not have to give up your shooting ability. And then also, because this is in the movement phase, you can actually move this Necron character, get within 6 of the vehicle that you want to fall back, and then the vehicle can fall back afterwards. So granting this ability in the movement phase, depending on which model you put it on, realistically it's going to give this more of like a 12-inch or more range, because you have the ability to move the model to where it needs to be and then trigger your ability. And if you put this on one of the flying Necron characters, you can have even more range than that. So pretty strong. And then last we have the Chrono Impedance Fields, 25 points. Necron model only. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Necron vehicle or Necron mounted unit, excluding Titanic units, within 6 inches of the bearer. Until the start of your next command phase, each time an attack is allocated to a model in that unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack. So this is pretty powerful. So in your command phase, you're going to pick 1 vehicle or mounted unit within 6 inches of the bearer. So not as powerful as the movement phase ability, but essentially you're going to reduce all incoming damage by 1. So very, very strong, especially in certain matchups where people are relying on that like 2 damage mass firepower to kill something. So pretty nice enhancements overall. Definitely got to say these are nice. It seems very thematic. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, CMO Games. CMO Games carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, paint, terrain, tools, and more. They take pre-orders for most Games Workshop new releases as early as possible, usually 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. CMO Games offers 15% off of MSRP for most all Games Workshop products and offer fast free shipping to the continental United States on orders over $50. Most orders ship out within 24 hours. You know their customer service is top-notch as they've been selling games online for over 20 years. Use the affiliate link below and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. Alright, and then we have 6 new stratagems to go along with it. So first is Merciless Reclamation, 1 command point in your shooting or fight phase. Target 1 Necron unit, excluding Titanic units, from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Effect: until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, if the target of the attack is within range of 1 or more objective markers, add 1 to the wound roll. So now we see with the army roll, you're going to have assault, you're going to have +1 to the hit roll. With this stratagem, you can grant +1 to the wound roll, and then you also have an enhancement that's going to grant reroll hit rolls of 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. So stacking some of these buffs is going to make the Necron force extremely reliable. And next we have Unyielding Forms, 1 command point, when your opponent's shooting phase or fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Target 1 Necron vehicle or Necron mounted unit, excluding Titanic units, from your army that was selected as a target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Effect: until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets that model in the unit, if the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than the toughness characteristic of the unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. So really nice durability strat right here. For most vehicles, if you're targeting them with this strat, that's going to mean that it's going to take the wound roll for your opponent from a 3 to a 4 or from a 4 to a 5. So always very nice. And next we have Dimensional Tunnel, 1 command point, your movement phase. Target 1 Necron vehicle or Necron mounted unit, excluding Titanic units, from your army. Effect: until the end of the phase, models in your unit can move horizontally through models and terrain features. So this is always strong. We've talked about it previously with the Chaos Knights detachment. You trigger it in your movement phase, and then you're going to be able to move through intervening terrain and then also models as if they were not there. So this is very strong for positioning, and for 1 command point, I think this will be real popular. And then we have Endless Servitude, 1 command point, end of your fight phase. Target 1 Necron unit, excluding Titanic units, from your army that is within range of 1 or more objective markers you control. Effect: your unit's reanimation protocols activate. So end of the fight phase, 1 command point. Your unit has to be within range of an objective marker and you have to control it, but they don't have to have necessarily fought or anything like that, and then you're going to be able to reanimate them. So again, nice stratagem. And next we have Chrono Shift, 1 command point, when your movement phase, target 1 Necron vehicle or Necron mounted unit, excluding Titanic units, from your army that has not been selected to move this phase. Effect: until the end of the phase, if your unit advances, do not make an advance roll for it. Instead, until the end of the phase, add 6 to the move characteristic of models in your unit. So auto advance 6, always a nice stratagem. And then last but not least, we have Reactive Repositioning. 1 command point, your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has shot. Target 1 Necrons unit from your army, excluding Titanic units, that was a target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Effect: your unit can make a normal move of up to a d6 or 6 instead if it's a mounted or vehicle unit. So this is really powerful. A lot of the reactive moves are when someone moves within 9 inches so they can kind of stay outside of that 9 inches. This one is a reactive move after you've been shot. And this is especially powerful for Necrons because they can poke something out where it needs to be. If your opponent kills 1 or 2 of them, depending on how their movement phase goes, after the unit is shot, you can pull them behind cover so they're no longer an eligible target, messing with your opponent's shooting phase or charge phase. If they don't shoot at them or don't kill enough of them, you can pull your casualties from somewhere else and then just stay on the point and not trigger the strat. So this is a very, very powerful stratagem. Definitely a big fan of this. Alright, so I gotta say the Star Shatter arsenal is pretty freaking good. It's got a lot of really good buffs, a lot of good ways to stack buffs. It's got nice auras with the enhancement abilities. It's got nice stratagems. The main thing that I notice here is that almost nothing will affect your Titanic stuff. So if you're interested in running an army that doesn't use Titanic models, especially if you're still leaning in heavy on vehicles or mounted units, this is definitely going to be the detachment for you. It doesn't have like the up-down tricks of some of the other detachments, but it definitely has still improved mobility with the assault ability on all your vehicles and mounted units. It's going to get around some of the issues with hit rolls or re-rolls with the actual army rule, and then also with some of the enhancements and stratagems. The reactive move when being shot is extremely powerful. Being able to double up on a unit with reanimation is powerful. I could definitely see you moving a unit, somebody overwatching, killing enough to make a difference, and then reanimating enough models to where you still control a point or do something else like important. So I definitely think this is one of the better detachments we've seen so far. There's definitely some play in this, and I could totally see this being a competitive new detachment. So far we've seen that the majority of the Codex detachments have not been particularly amazing, nothing to like blow you out of the water. I definitely think this one has some play. So let me know what you think of the new Star Shatter Arsenal. Are you going to be building your Necron force that will be using this detachment? Is there anything you picked up in here that you think has some play or that you're worried about being on the receiving end of? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. And make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and tomorrow is the big day. The brand new Death Watch Index is arriving. And you know that has got me super excited. And I'm out of here.